You have no idea what horrors lie ahead. You have seen nothing. The frozen heart of NAXXRAMAS awaits you. Minions, servants, soldiers of the cold dark, obey the call of Kel'Thuzad!
Hey guys, in this video I'll talk about Atiesh, Great Staff of the Guardian, the final legendary weapon of Classic WoW that unlocks in the final raid in Classic WoW. Atiesh is a legendary caster staff that can be wielded by druids, priests, mages and warlocks. So who is this best in slot for? How do you acquire it? How long will it take to get? Which class should get it? All these questions I'll answer in this video. To acquire this weapon, you need to get 40 splinters of Atiesh, and these drop from the bosses of NAXXRAMAS. The first 13 bosses of NAXXRAMAS has a 20% chance of dropping a splinter of Atiesh. Now, unlike the other legendaries like Hand of Ragnaros or Thunder Fury, the splinters of Atiesh actually has a high chance of dropping, which means if you do NAXXRAMAS persistently, you will get all 40 one day or the other. But NAXXRAMAS itself is a challenge. Even if you kill all the bosses in NAXXRAMAS consistently, it'll still take you about 2 to 3 months to get a hold of all the 40 splinters. So once you have the 40 splinters, you combine them into the frame of Atiesh, which will give you a quest to visit the dragon Anachronos in Teneris. Now, to talk to Anachronos, you will have to be neutral with the Brood of Nozdormu. This is something you'll already have if you have been doing Ankiraz during Phase 5. Anachronos will give you a quest where you have to get the staff head of Atiesh and the base of Atiesh. Now this does look like the hardest part of the entire quest chain, but know that when you get to this quest, you're already going to be 15 weeks into Nax, so killing Kel'Thuzad or Cthulhu is not going to be a problem. Because the staff head of Atiesh drops from Kel'Thuzad, and the base of Atiesh drops from Cthulhu in the Temple of Ankiraz. So once you kill Cthulhu and Kel'Thuzad, these items have a 100% drop chance. So you take both these items and you take it back to Anachronos. And then the final quest will be to cleanse the staff of Atiesh. You'll have to go to Stratholme and slay the demon Atiesh. Now for this, you'll need to go to the undead side of Stratholme and go in front of that green fire that no one really knew what it was for. Now this boss might be a bit challenging because you can only do it with a group of 5. So bring your 4 best players when you're doing this quest. And also someone in the group can disarm the boss and get a legendary for 5 minutes. So that's also pretty fun. And once you slay this demon, you will have finished the quest chain for the legendary staff. Then you go back to Anachronos in Teneris, and you turn in the quest, and there you have it, Atiesh, Great Staff of the Guardian. Now also unlike the Thunder Fury and Hand of Ragnaros, then this quest requires no gold, since you don't need to buy anything like Arcanite bars for Thunder Fury and Hand of Rag to make this weapon. Alright guys, so let's get to the good stuff. Is this a best in slot weapon? Now the answer is yes, no, and maybe. And I know that's confusing, right? So that's why, as usual, I came up with a spreadsheet. Now, there are 4 versions of Atiesh. One for mage, one for warlock, one for priest, and one for druids. All these 4 versions have different auras, or different types of buffs, you would say. For example, the mage Atiesh has a buff that will give the party a 2% crit. The Warlock has a buff that will give the party 33 spell power or 33 healing. The Priest version has a buff that will give the group 62 healing, and the Druid version has a buff that will give the group 11 MP5. Now, if you look at the best in slots individually, look at this. An Atiesh has 150 spell power, right? 2% hit and 2% crit. And the Wraith Blade along with the Saffron's Left Eye in combination has 121 spell power, 2% hit, 2% crit, right? I mean, obviously Atiesh is better, right? Because you're getting 29 more spell power. Well, this is where it gets a little bit more complicated. If you look at it, Atiesh has a 150 spell power, 2% hit, but the 2% crit is a buff. Okay, it's a buff, which means if you have someone in the group with a mage Atiesh or a warlock Atiesh, you are going to have 121 spell power, 2% hit, 2% crit, and depending on which version of Atiesh is in your group, let's say an Atiesh mage is in the group, you will have a 2% crit bonus. So you will actually have 4% crit, 2% hit, and 121 spell power. And let's say there is a Atiesh mage and Atiesh warlock, like 7 months later after an axe is out in the group, right? You're going to have an extra 33 spell power and 2% crit. And the same types of buffs don't stack, but different types of buffs do stack. So 2% crit buff will not stack with another 2% crit buff, but it will stack with a 33 spell power buff from a warlock. So for raiding, Wraithblade and Sapphirion's left eye is going to be best in slot, since you can get the added bonuses. And remember that by the time someone actually gets their hand on Atiesh, which is going to be, like I said, 2 or 3 months into Nax, there are going to be a few people with these items in the raid already. Wraithblade is going to be fairly easy to get because you get it off one of the early bosses. Sapphirion's left eye might be a little bit challenging to get since it drops from Sapphirion, a very hard boss to kill. Now for healers, same thing applies, right? You get from Atiesh, you get 300 healing power, and you don't have any MP5, so you get 27 spirit and 62 plus healing buff. Now you have to remember that this is a buff, right? And the other options you have is Twisting Nether and Sapphirion's right eye, which will give you a total combination of 300 healing power, which is exactly the same as Atiesh, and 12 MP5. Now for priests, it's gonna be a bit more complicated because even if you're a healer, the healers get distributed very evenly among the group, right? So there's like 1 or 2 healers in every group. You never stack 5 healers in one group, right? Like that rarely happens in a raid. So for priests, Atiesh is actually the best in slot because there is a high chance that even if you have both these weapons, you're not gonna have Atiesh priest in the group with you. But if you do, this is the best in slot. If you don't, Atiesh is going to be the best in slot. For the healers, I think the best buff is the one that priests have, 62 healing power. The one druids have is not really that useful, 11 MP5. I mean, can't really see that being useful to anyone. The priest one is going to be really helpful to any healers in the group, but that's the thing. The buffs only help the healers, right? But for mages and warlocks, the buffs help everyone. It helps healers and the casters because the 2% crit aura or the 33 spell power also applies to healers, right? So let's say there is 2 mages, 2 warlocks, and a paladin healer in the group, right? And you have 1 mage with the Atiesh. Everyone is going to be benefiting from that 2% crit buff. Or there's a warlock with Atiesh, right? Everyone is going to be benefiting with that warlock with Atiesh, both healers and caster DPS. But if you have a priest in the group with Atiesh, only the healers are going to be benefiting from the buff. Same for druid, only the healers. So I think Atiesh is going to be better on a warlock or a mage. Now which one is really like debatable? I prefer the crit one because crits really help with Ignite in Nax, and Ignite is going to be really big in phase 5 and phase 6. But you can also argue that spell damage is going to be better. So what do you think is going to be better? 2% crit or 33 spell power? Let me know in the channel I made right here. So if you join my Discord server, you'll find an Atiesh discussion group. And here I will have pinned this spreadsheet in the channel. You can find it. Please do discuss on who should get Atiesh, a mage or a warlock, maybe a healer. I mean, sometimes it won't even matter if you have a guild leader who's a druid. He might take it, who knows. But at the end of the day, people are gonna get it well after the progression is over, I hope, because after 2 or 3 months these 2% crit or any of these buffs won't really matter because you will have Nax down by then for sure. So if you have made it to this part of the video, I thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. I also want to announce that, as per some requests, you can now support me in Patreon. The videos I make take a lot of time and effort, and I love making this kind of videos for you guys. And I would like to keep making as many of these videos as I can. And the smallest support from you guys will go a long way. So if you guys do decide to support me, I will list the name of all my supporters at the end of all my videos from now on. So thank you in advance. I will put the Patreon link in the description. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.